Okay, let's get started. Thank you for joining today. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. This beautiful sunny summer day. My name is Jennifer Bento-Pinion. I'm here at MEFA on the college planning team. I've been program manager for MEFA Pathway for a little over 6 years now. And just to share, one of my favorite aspects of what I do on a day-to-day basis is to have the opportunity to work directly with you, families and educators, and helping to support your students with their secondary planning. So I appreciate your time today, and we will go through, we're going to go through the MEFA Pathway high school portal today. We're going to take about 30 minutes to do so. And just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. If you are logged into the app on your phone, if you swipe right, you'll be able to see the presentation, and we're going to go live onto the website. And then if you were to swipe left, you would go back to the webcam. So, but I think you're going to want to swipe right to see the presentation. I'm going to keep everybody on mute throughout, just to cut back on the noise and the feedback. And then at the end of the presentation, I will, if you have any questions, you can type those right into the question box, and I will address any questions at the end. All right, so let's get started here. So if you're not familiar with MEFA Pathway, and you will be by the end of this session here, MEFA Pathway offers interactive college and career planning tools and a fun, engaging, intuitive one-stop shop. So this platform is available to all students across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in grades 6 through 12, and it offers age-appropriate activities per grade level. So students who create an account in grades 6 through 8 will see different activities than those in grades 9 through 12. But the transition from those middle school years to the high school are seamless. So I encourage you all following this presentation to have your students create accounts, register an account, and look through all the great resources that we have to offer here in guiding them, students, towards post-secondary planning. All right, so I am on the mefapathway.org landing page here. So if you are a student, you are going, I am a student. And as a first-time user, you will click register here. Now, I'm not going to bring you through these pages, but it's a very simple registration process. First name, last name, the student will select the town that their school is located in, and then select from the drop-down their school. There are 3 registration pages of very basic information. The student does create a username and a password, and they do need a working email address, just in case they forget that username or password, so they can reset. So once the student registers their account, then they have those login credentials. And I will be logging into my student test account here. And at the conclusion of this presentation, I will provide you with these credentials, because there's a lot, it's already been populated with a lot of great things, so you can see what that looks like. So my student here is a grade 11 student. So based on my year of graduation that I put in when I registered, I have my grade level that shows up. And then the progress, activity, days since last activity, so the student can see that they've been in the portal, when the last time they logged in. And then this is what we call the student's dashboard. And if we scroll down here a little bit, you'll see that the dashboard indicates the suggested activities per grade level. So as a grade 11 student, the student is updating their profile, and we're going to go in and look at all these features. So updating their profile, creating their resume, they're reviewing their course plan. So the dashboard really allows the student to see what their next steps are within the site. Okay, So let me just scroll back up here. We do have a featured scholarship that we update. And then also on this page, we have this really cool series, this Journey to College series, which if you click on this play button, it will bring you to the library. And it's actual students talking about their college admissions experience. So something to check out for sure. So the dashboard again just shows the student where they should be going next. And then we're just gonna go right through these tabs, and I'm going to show you what the site has to offer. So under the Create Profile page, we're moving to Profile Details. So what we encourage students to do within these profile pages is to start populating sports, clubs, any activities that they've done, honors and awards, employment, community service. They're starting to think about this and adding information into these subpages by grade 9. So the thought behind this is that they keep this updated, they keep adding, so that when they get to grade 11, grade 12, when they actually need a resume, because all of this information ties into the resume tool, it's already right here for them, and they don't have to scramble to think like, oh geez, what did I do back as a freshman in grade 9? Did I play soccer? Was I on the debate team? So I'll just show you quickly just this one page. I won't go through them all. So our student here has added, you can see all of these different activities within that activities page. So very simple to add. They just click add new. A box is brought up where they select the type of activity, and if it's not included on the drop down box, they can type it in themselves. They add the grades they were involved in that activity, and you can see that they can add a position held or a description. So they want to make sure that all their grammar is correct. There's no spell check, so they want to make sure that they're just typing in what they actually want to see on that resume piece. So they go through, they start populating honors and awards. They can select skills and strengths. And then once they start doing that, if we click on the resume builder, we'll see that all of what the student has added within those profile pages populate onto this resume page. So the student can create as many drafts of a resume as they like. And when they do so, they will need different drafts for different purposes. So maybe they're creating a draft for a job, and that might look different than a resume that they're creating for a college application. So the student can deselect what they do not want to appear on a particular draft, and then just click save. And once they've saved that resume draft, it then appears on this list here. So as you can see, I have many, many drafts saved. So let me just show you what this looks like. Let's click view. And now this is the draft that I created a couple days ago here. So we'll have the name at the top. Student can add an objective. That would have been on that previous page where they add the objective, and then whatever they selected from that resume page. So as you can see, tidy little template. The student can switch their resume style if they like. Maybe they want a modern style. And then they can download this as a PDF or as a Word doc. So obviously, if they're downloading as a Word doc, they can manipulate that further from there. They can change the font, they can change the order. So a great way for students a great and easy way for students to start just thinking about resumes at an early age. They can even start this on the middle school grade level as well. And again, if they started in middle school, it'll transfer right over when they make that grade 8 to grade 9 jump. All right, so Discover Careers. We have within the Discover Careers tab here, a number of sub-tabs. So the Get to Know Yourself tab, we have 3 assessments within the site. We have what are your interests, what are your work values, and what are your skills. The work values assessment and the interests assessment tie directly into the career search. So just to give you a quick look at what the interest assessment looks like, the student will, once they start it, they will see 30 they will be shown 30 activities, and they rate those activities from I love it to I hate it. So when they get to the end, they save their results, and then they're brought to this results page. And the results page will show their top 3 results from that particular, from what their answers, from what those ratings were. So then from here, the student can start really exploring different careers. So say, let's just look at the realistic bucket here. We're looking at a very large handful of careers related to that realistic result. So if the student would click on any of these careers, they'll be brought to that career details page. So all of the information on the careers comes from ONET. So, and that's refreshed yearly. So on the details page of the career search, they will see daily tasks, work activities, a lot of information about this particular career. They'll see professional qualifications, what education is needed for this particular career, knowledge required, and at the very bottom, how does this career match to you? So based on if they've taken those assessment, these are the students' top results, and then how does this match up to them? So all 3, the interest and the values assessments tie into that career search, which I'll show you next. So I'm just going on to that main career search page here. So a lot of students, and I've worked with students on site with this tool, and it's just so great to see their excitement a lot of times, and just like, wow, I didn't know that because I have an interest in hospitality and tourism, what the number of different careers that are potential for them. So the student can look at careers based on career categories or career clusters. They can filter out the list by education level. And then if we scroll down a little bit, they can also apply their top interests to a particular search. So I'll just do a very quick search to show you. Say we have a student who's interested in health and human services. So I'm just going to check that box. So we have 146 careers that are found based just off that health and human services category. And then maybe we want to apply the interest. So I just click use my interest. Now, based on the results, my top 3 results, the list didn't go down that much. So maybe we're onto something here with the health and human services and the interests. So now, same sort of process, the student can go down and say, oh, well, I don't even know how to pronounce this. I'm going to look at this one, cytotechnologist. Let's see what that is. So we just click on that. And again, it's brought, we're brought to the career details page. All right, so then from there, the student can start building out a career list. So they can save that to their career list. That looks like something that we want to maybe explore a little further later on down the line. So maybe the student in grades 9 and 10 have a career list that's quite lengthy, but maybe as they move along in the grade levels, they're narrowing that list down to careers that are potentials for them. So this is the career list. So you can see the career name, the description, the career category that career fits into, education level, etc. And then if they add a career to their favorites list, then it appears on the digital portfolio, which I will show you next since I mentioned it. So you can get to the digital portfolio right from here. So the digital portfolio acts as a repository of a lot of the great things that the student is working on within the site. So activities comes from the profile piece. The student can add their favorite subjects in, they can add interests in. And I haven't gotten to the college piece yet, but the colleges that they favorited will appear here. And then, as I just mentioned, those careers that they've favorited are on the right-hand side here. They can put in any languages that they speak, and then they have a link to their resume. They can add skills here. Honors and awards comes from the profile. And then on the very bottom, we have the get to know yourself, the top 3 results from that interest assessment, the work value assessment. And then we also have a link out. It links externally to this learning style inventory. So a lot of our vocational technical schools require that learning styles inventory so they can keep track of that there. All right, moving right along. Let's look at the search for colleges features. So we have within the search for colleges main tab, we have our college search. So this is great for students. I mean, students are starting to think about and look at colleges earlier and earlier. So there's, absolutely no harm in a grade 9 student starting that college search. As you can see, we have just under 4,000 2- and 4-year colleges in our database, and the information on the colleges comes from Peterson's. So the colleges actually send their updated information to Peterson's, and then we get that. So the student can save as many searches as they like. So if they have criteria that they've put in that they would like to save on a particular search, they can save that and come back to it later. Just show you what that looks like. They can see I only have 2 saved here, but they can go back to a saved search. But just to give you just a quick little view, the student can, if they have a school name that they want to look at specifically, they can put that in. But here's all the criteria that they can use to filter out for a particular search. So just, maybe just doing this very quickly for you. They want to look at schools in Mass and Connecticut and New Hampshire. So we're putting those 3 states in. And so we're already down to 184 schools. So then if we scroll down, if the student wants to put in a preference for a school size or a setting, tuition, public or private, admission difficulty, GPA, test scores, etc., they can add that to the filter as well. So let's just say we're going to put in a GPA range of 3 to 3.5. So now we're down to 46 schools. So from here, the student can say, okay, I want to look at Central Connecticut State University. We're going to click on that college, and then we come to the details page. So great information on the schools here, kind of general information at the top. And then when we scroll down, we get into the nitty-gritty of the school information. So degrees offered, admissions, tuition and fees, etc. And then when we get down to the very bottom, we have contact information. So now the student is similarly to the college search. Well, what happened? Similarly to the college search, sorry about that, they can start building out that college list. So if they want to save Central Connecticut State University to that, they can just click Save to List, and then that college will appear on their college list, which is right here. Okay, so our student has 11 colleges on their list. They've favorited a handful, and then they can, if they're actually interested in applying, they can star that. So from here, maybe the student is starting to look at colleges in grades 9 or 10, but by grade 11, they're really starting to think about what colleges they want to actually apply to. So the college comparison tool is really great for that, because the student can look at up to 5 schools side by side, and I have one that is saved here, and they can add their preferences. So for instance, if they want to set that GPA range or size of a school or location, they can do that on that preferences page. So you can save as many comparisons as you like. So I'm just going to show you this one here that I put together. So we have, just scroll down here, we have our 5 schools. And in purple here, and I'll show you this in a minute, this is our, it's the Mass State Benefits feature. So the student has applied one of their saved My Mass Benefits plans to this comparison, so they can see, they can look at the numbers comparatively as well. So if we just scroll down here, we see key factors, undergraduate information. So the student can really start to look at the criteria side by side and see how it fits and matches to them. So the student is essentially building out a list of colleges for themselves to apply to, of mostly target and safety schools and maybe a reach school. So what they're doing here is they're able to assess what types of, how they fit into that criteria. Okay, so this is a great resource for students to use when they're trying to decide which schools to apply to. All right, moving on here. So the manage applications feature. So this is where the student can come in, and when they've decided on those schools that they have applied to, they can add these colleges to this applications page. If you are one of our schools that has the Common App integrated, then this will, the Common App, the students can use this to manage, well, any student can manage both Common App and non-Common App schools. But if you're a school that has Common App integration, the student actually connects their account to Common App. So that's something, we're in our second year with that, and that's a very exciting enhancement and offering that we have for any of our affiliate schools that would like to participate. So the student can come in and add colleges, and then they'll see their deadlines. They can update the status of that application. And then finally, we have our Pay for College tab here, and we have a lot going on under this tab. Since I mentioned it, I'll show you the Mass State Benefits feature first. So the student is looking at, and this is becoming more and more common, and a smart choice and decision for a lot of students, is starting at a community college and transferring to a 2 or 4 year university. And in Massachusetts, we are so lucky because we have these wonderful programs that are offered and such a great public system. So the student can say, okay, I'm looking at starting at, let's see, I'm looking at starting at Quinn-Sigmund Community College, and then thinking about transferring to Worcester State. So they just select from the drop-down box. And now if we scroll down, we'll see the 3 programs and the savings amount. So we have the Gen Ed Foundation program, and I'm just going through this very quickly. I want to encourage you to get in here and look at it yourselves. We have the A to B program, and then we have the Commonwealth Commitment program. And as you can see, there are different estimated savings. So that maybe the student says, well, this criteria and these requirements kind of fit with what I want to do. I'm going to save this plan. So I'm just going to keep it named as such, save it. And then when the student has saved a plan or plans, it then appears on that My Mass Benefits page. So once they have started saving these plans, they can then apply these plans to the college comparison, like I showed you, that was in purple. And then I will also show you how it applies to the college cost calculator. So the college cost calculator is used for when the student actually has their financial aid offers right in front of them. So they've gone through the college admissions process, they've applied to however many schools they've applied to, they've gotten back their acceptance letters along with their financial aid offers. So the student can add those schools that they've been accepted to, and simply, and I have this all lined up for you here, add in any, I'll just say that the tuition and fees and room and board are automatically coming from the system. And then the student can estimate amounts for books and supplies. If they need health insurance, they can add that in, any extra expenses. And then they just take their financial aid award, their offer, and plug in any scholarships they've been awarded, any institutional scholarships, any outside scholarships. They can put in the Pell Grant, federal SEOG, again, just going down the line, and work study, other resources. Maybe they have a grandparent that has saved $3,000 for them. They can add that in here. So once they have added in all of their own personal numbers, they can calculate out the cost So again, they're adding in all of the schools that they've gotten accepted to, and with all of that, all of those specifics, all of those numbers. And then what they're doing is they're seeing their total awards, total annual awards, that's per year. Then they're seeing the annual cost gap. And then we're showing also the 4-year cost gap, because students have to remember that they're probably going to school for 4 years. And then this here was one of the Mass State benefits plans, so you can see what a difference in savings. So from here we say, okay, what this does is it really helps the student make an informed decision about what their final decision will be, where they want to send that that deposit for May 1st. So let's just say, what's this first school? We have Bridgewater State. Sorry, I'm jumping all over here. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. We have Bridgewater State, and for a 4-year cost gap, we have just under $26,000. So maybe that student has their heart set on Bridgewater State. So we say, okay, we at MEFA, we do offer a great loan program, but we don't, that's kind of the last resort. We know that students are taking on a lot of student debt, so we want students to be very, very much aware and educated about taking out private loans. So this estimator is a great way to start the conversations to have with your students about loans, and so they don't get in over their head. That's the trick, is not to get in over your head. So let's just take that 4-year cost gap for Bridgewater. Let's just estimate it at $27,000. Okay, we're going to plug in 5% for our interest rate, and then we're going to look at taking 15 years to repay. So the system says that our monthly loan payment will be just a little over $200. And after 15 years, the interest, the total amount you will pay, which is principal plus the interest, is $38,000, a little over $38,000. So of that amount, important to point out to students, you started off, you borrowed $27,000, and now you're paying a little over $38,000, because over $11,000 will be interest. So now we're saying, okay, let's just to show them the difference. Let's go back and say we're going to take 10 years to repay. So that changes our monthly loan payment, bumps it up a little bit, but at the end of the day, we're paying less over the course of the 10 years because of the interest is affected. And then from here, this is really cool. So the students got their monthly loan payment, and then they're saying, okay, I'm really interested in being a graphic designer. So as you can see, we have kind of pops up with choices. We're looking at the annual salary of a graphic designer, and then we want to calculate out the affordability of that particular loan. So based on that monthly loan payment, a little under $300, and the projected salary, we're seeing that this might be manageable based on that salary. That loan is manageable for the student. So again, we're really, it's all about educating our students, and not scaring them, just educating them. And then of course we have our scholarship search. I think a lot of students aren't, they don't realize that scholarships, it's money you do not have to pay back. And so I always say, first and foremost, just apply to as many scholarships as you can get your hands on. So much money goes unawarded every year because students don't apply. A lot of times I feel like they think, okay, I've applied to 6 or 8 schools, and that was enough. But yeah, it's not over. Get them on the scholarship search. So this works similarly to the college search. They select their criteria, how they want to filter out the list. And this is a national database. This also comes from Peterson's. So they put in that criteria, and then they can filter out the list, and then just click on a scholarship that they want to look at further. They can look at deadlines, and then from here we have a good details page here, and then they can save that. Once it's saved, it's then on their scholarship list. So important for deadlines because you don't want to miss a deadline. So we have deadlines, this column here, and then they can update the status and award amount. And last but not least, we do have the expected family contribution calculator. So the student can go through their 5 steps. So they put parent financial information in, student information in, and they get it will then generate the estimated EFC, which represents the amount of money that a family can pay for one academic year of college. All right, so that was a quick version of many of the features within MEFA Pathway. Again, I do encourage you to get your students to register an account and start using the portal. Yeah, so let's take some questions if anyone has any questions. So one question is this in any other languages? So that's a very good question. We will, I believe we will have the site translatable for the end of the year in Spanish. So that's up and coming. We have had a lot of requests for that. So that's something. And I should have mentioned before too that our this website is forever changing. It's never stagnant. We're always making updates and enhancements. And so what you see now is probably not what you'll see 2 months down the road, because we always have things on the line for to just help it grow and change. Another question, can districts add their own local scholarships? Good. So if you are one of our affiliate schools, which we have close to 75 affiliate schools now, and this is a free platform, I didn't mention that, that's a biggie. This is a free platform that MEFA offers to any school that wants to participate, and that includes the Common App. But if you are one of our affiliate schools, you have access to our counselor portal, and we do have a local scholarship feature where you can add local scholarships, and then when your student goes to the scholarship search, those will appear, and I'll show it to you here. They just click on local scholarships, and then those local scholarships that you've added as a school will appear on this list. All right, great questions. My child will be a senior in September. Is it too late? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So many great features for your senior. They can get resume, the career search, the college compare, and then when they're applying to college, if they're going, if that's their route, they can put all of their the colleges they've been accepted to in the cost estimator. Definitely not too late. Absolutely not. But good question. All right. Are there any other questions? I don't see. All right. So let me just leave, let's see, let me leave my contact slide up if I can find it. Whoops, okay, sorry, that's not it. Okay, you're seeing all my stuff here, sorry. Let me get my contact slide up so that you can, okay. So here's my contact slide. Please feel free to reach out to me. My direct number is there, my email address, and then you are welcome to use the credentials to my test account here if you like, or again, I strongly encourage you to have your student create an account. But any feedback you have, we always welcome feedback, positive and not, and if you don't have positive feedback, we welcome that too, because it just helps us to improve this platform for students and educators. So feel free to reach out. All right, thank you so much for joining today. And I will send out a recording of this to all of you. So if you care to listen to it again, you'll have it in your email. All right, thanks so much and have a great day, everyone.